Let's now bring in Gabor Lukács, advocate and founder of Air Passenger Rights. Gabor, welcome. Air Transat is preemptively canceling flights in anticipation of a strike. Talk to us about what disruptions we can expect from this.
When an airline cancels a flight preemptively before the workers have walked off the job, that is a cancellation within the carrier's control. In such situations, Air Transat owes passengers not only rebooking, including on competitor airlines, but also must provide meals accommodation and a lump sum compensation up to $1,000, depending on how long the passenger is delayed as a result. So it is very nice that Air Transat is offering various other options to passengers, but passengers have no obligation to accept those offers, and I recommend passengers to stick to what is in the contract, stick to what is in the law. If as a passenger you accept some of those goodwill gestures, you are at the airline's mercy. You don't have to accept a refund either. You can insist on being transported on a competitor airline on the original date or as close to it as possible, including on competitor airlines.
Now, if this strike does go ahead, which could begin as early as Wednesday, what rights and protections do passengers have that they should keep in mind?
Once the strike is underway, Air Transat is still required to rebook passengers on flights of its partner airlines to depart within 48 hours or the original departure time. Or if that's not possible, then Air Transat has to buy, using its own corporate credit card, its own money, tickets to passengers on competitor airlines. So what Air Transat is doing in suggesting people to buy a ticket on their own and then seek reimbursement, that does not cut it. That's not sufficient, does not meet the legal obligations that Air Transat has. With respect to other expenses like lost wages, meals accommodation, Air Transat will still be on the hook for those for passengers traveling internationally under the Montreal Convention, which is an international treaty that has the force of law in Canada.
So if you're a passenger and you see that your flight has been canceled, what immediate action should you take?
Take a screenshot of the cancellation and give Air Transat a couple hours to rebook you in accordance with the law. If Air Transat does not use well or does not use at all the chance you give them to rebook you on its own or partner airlines or competitor airlines flights in accordance with the law, then next you buy yourself a ticket and then make Air Transat pay for that extra expense plus any other damages you incur because Air Transat failed to fulfill its legal obligation to buy you a ticket. Let me stress again, it is Air Transat's obligation to buy you a ticket, not you to run after them. One important thing is don't accept a refund. Air Transat may try to push a refund on you, but don't say voluntarily yes to a refund because that could be used by the airline as an excuse to refusing to reimburse you or wash its hands from liability for the damages it's causing to you. So if you want to travel at all, you need to be clear, no, I'm not accepting a refund. I expect Air Transat to meet its legal obligations to rebook me on partner or competitor airlines. If it fails to do so, then buy a ticket yourself, then send Air Transat the bill and for all the expenses that you have incurred as a result of their failure to comply with the law.
Okay, Gabor, thank you very much for this. Great chatting with you.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's Gabor Lukács, advocate and founder of Air Passenger Rights.